film set in the X-Men universe, that's including Deadpool, and it is also the final performance by Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So this film is once again directed by James Mangold, who also directed The Wolverine back in 2013, I believe. So, talking about The Wolverine, I did enjoy that film, although yeah, the final act did feel tonally different than the rest of the movie and more like a regular superhero popcorn flick. But still, a pretty good film. So, yeah, we're finally here 17 years later, and we're at the end of the road. This film definitely feels like the end of a complete giant chapter for the X-Men series. So not to spoil anything, but the main plot follows an aging Logan. He's not regenerating well. He's not as strong. He's pretty weak, and he's basically isolated. He lives with Caliban and an old Professor X as well, and he's a limo driver trying to get money to be able to buy some drugs that help calm Professor X from having this massive attacks with his powers that can really fuck people up. And so there's this little girl, and I'm not gonna say anything about little girl, but the little girl shows up, and they basically have to protect her and take her to a location. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And there's bad guys after them. Obviously, there's a lot more to that, but thank God the trailers didn't show any of the surprises that are in this film, because there are quite a few. I'll say right off the bat, this is my favorite X-Men film. Out of everything the X-Men universe has given us, Deadpool, X-Men, Days of Future Past, better than any of that. And the reason is, first off, the film never really feels like a superhero film. Everything feels really grounded, even though we have mutants and there are powers being shown on screen. It really does feel grounded. There's no big epic showdowns, where with buildings falling, or sometimes not buildings, but big explosions or anything. It's just very grounded. It is pretty violent. This is rated R this time around, so yeah, Wolverine is slicing and dicing and limbs falling off and a lot of blood, and that was great because that's really the Wolverine we've always wanted to see, as the Wolverine we see in this film, really, which is the one that really goes absolutely nuts on people. Talking about Wolverine, Hugh Jackman is his best performance as Wolverine, and you definitely feel just how tired the character is, and that he's actually become weaker. And I really felt it throughout the movie, because in some other movies where you have an iconic character and they kind of play him off as an old person, or aging and weaker, I don't always really feel that he's really weaker or anything. But here you feel it, and you feel that when this guy is in a fight, you really feel okay, this guy can actually get hurt now. So that was fantastic. James Mangold, what the fuck? Patrick Stewart as Professor X was fantastic as well, and his back and forth with Logan is amazing, and something that we've never really quite seen the way it's been done in this film before. And also, the little girl. The little girl is great. I can't wait to see what she does next. And her relationship with Logan, I thought, felt very natural, how the relationship progresses throughout the film. Because regularly in films like this, where there's a young child and an adult, they don't get along well, and there's always this weird moment in the film where that kind of changes, just due to an event or a sudden action the child or the adult does. There's never really that point in this film. Everything really feels natural, and that it's functioning the way it should actually function in real life. So that was great, because I actually thought they were gonna go that route that other films go to, where something happens and they're like really nice to each other. And yeah, the action is amazing as well. Really well shot, really entertaining. I thought the pacing of the film was just perfect. Like it went slow whenever it needed to go slow and give us character moments. And then when the action came in, it really delivered on that front. So I was just 100% completely satisfied with this film and how it ends the whole story of Wolverine. I think people are gonna love the ending. I have no doubt about that, and there really are no complaints really from this film. My only minor complaint is there's a couple of villains. Dude, you've seen in the trailer with like the metal arm, and there's like the CEO of a company. The metal arm dude, Boyd Holbrook, I think he's called, the actor. He definitely has charisma and a nice screen presence, so he was awesome. But yeah, the CEO guy, he's not in the film much though. But I don't know. Really didn't feel that he needed to be in the film. Like I think you could have taken him out and that would have been swell. But it's a really small minch nitpick, and yeah, this film is just fantastic. And I hope more superhero films take risks like this film did. Because yeah, this film does take risks, and not just in the R rating, but story elements. And yeah, I think this is something that will actually kind of change the genre a little bit, and I hope it does, because I love seeing more personal stories like this, and just really, really, really small stories like this. So yeah, please go check out Logan, and if you like this review, please subscribe.